For most humans, what we are doing here seems strange. For most humans, what we are interested in, what we are inquiring into, seems weird. The very notion that there is something about us humans that are sort of hidden. That notion seems for most humans to be ridiculous unless you are interested in conspiracy theories or the supernatural. But this has absolutely nothing to do with conspiracies or the supernatural for that matter. What we are talking about here is reality. And the difficulties is that we cannot really talk about reality. Because every time we start talking about reality, we have already separated ourselves from reality. Nothing we can say about reality is reality. But this is the big difference here. This is that we know that is the truth. We know that we cannot contain, we cannot hold, we cannot grasp reality in words, in concepts, in descriptions. We know that already. We know that we will fail. I know that I will fail. But that makes a lot of difference. Because that gives me freedom. That helps me to be open-minded. That helps me to prevent me from building belief systems about reality. So when I talk about reality, it is only pointers. It is descriptions. And those descriptions you will never ever see me defend. Why would I defend a description? If you, for some reason, find that my descriptions are inadequate, that's fine. Construct your own descriptions then. In the end, we have to let go of all of the descriptions. I am not really interested that much in the descriptions. I'm much more interested in reality as it is. But I would wonder if if I just sat here, immersed into reality, being quiet, how many there would be interested? So I speak about what cannot be talked about. I talk about what cannot be talked about. But I know that, and then it's not a problem anymore. The vast majority of human beings, they are talking about that which cannot be talked about, and they are absolutely certain that what they are saying is the truth. And then they have to defend that idea. Well, that is a part of the awakening. That is the liberation from the need to defend anything. I am 100% committed to truth. You cannot hurt that truth, reality. What is? But most people, they are constantly in a battle with what is. And most people, they feel that if they were not in a battle with what is, they would just sit and become a vegetable. Because they are simply motivated by fighting what is, by being in resistance to what is. That is what is essentially motivating them. And that is how most people are living. Being in resistance to what is. And they never really learn how to live without being in resistance to what is. And that's actually quite funny, because that means that we are motivated by being in resistance to what is because we want something to happen. And then we have this idea that when that happens, then I will no longer be in resistance to what is. But that is not the case. I don't know if you have noticed that. Because if we as human beings are living in resistance to what is, and that is what we are using to motivate ourselves, we simply do not know any other way to live. And that means that even if something happens that we have been fighting for, then we will still be in resistance to what is. Something else will show up, almost instantly. And then we start all over again. And there are no end to that cycle. Unless it dawns on us the futility of it. We are actually longing for a moment where we are not in resistance to what is. And we fool ourselves, telling ourselves that when that I resist, when that is happening, then I will drop my resistance to what is. But it is a fool's game. And we have to see it clearly. The difficulties is, of course, that the mind do not know any other way to motivate itself. And that is why it fears not being in resistance to what is. Because for the mind, that must mean that I'm just sitting in a chair, fading away. What else could motivate besides being in resistance to what is? I have said it before. There is a superpower within you. Curiosity. Simply being curious. If I do this, what will happen? Something that I find interesting. And I look at what is. And I ask myself, what am I being offered as an option right now? What is always offering me some options. So with curiosity, I pick one of those options and I see what happens. That is a superpower, a motivational superpower, curiosity. But the culture we live within does not know about that superpower. The culture we are living in is indoctrinating everybody to be in resistance to what is. Living in dissatisfaction, using dissatisfaction as the primary motivational force. But no one tells you that if you use dissatisfaction as your motivational force, that means that you are living your life in dissatisfaction. And it is absolutely ridiculous. I will grant you this much, that sometimes if you work hard enough and if you struggle, you might actually be able to make something happen. But there is a twist to this. You cannot make anything happen that is not already offered you as an option. It is simply impossible. So I will repeat that. You cannot make anything happen that is not already offered you as an option. So why being in resistance to what is being offered you? People are depressed. They are depressed because what is not offering them what they want. So they're sitting there being depressed. Having ideas about manifestations, having ideas about wanting to manifest something is absolutely fine. But it is indeed possible to be interested in manifesting and at the same time not be in resistance to what is. And that means that you will be joyful manifesting. And you will be living your life joyfully. You will be cooperating with reality. And the funny thing is that what is offering you the option to be in resistance to what is. That is definitely an option that you are being offered. And you can take that offering and use. I am now resisting what is. I am dissatisfied with what is, and you can use that as your motivational force. But you cannot do it without suffering. When you act like that, when you use dissatisfaction with what is, you are either creating suffering for yourself or for others, and in most cases for both yourself and for others. And the sole reason for that is that you are dissatisfied with what is. And being dissatisfied is a negative emotion. And the funny thing is that it does not make you more effective. Not in any way. On the contrary, you will burn a lot of energy just simply by being dissatisfied. So what I just talked about, that is reality. That is a description of reality, and I do not have to defend it. It is simply just observed. And you can observe it within yourself. It is very easily observed. So that will be a small awakening, a partly awakening when this is seen very clearly. Then you will awaken out of that cultural conditioning. But it could potentially, have a huge impact on your life. Being liberated from dissatisfaction is a huge gift. It's a wonderful gift. And then cultivating the ability to use curiosity as a motivational force. So my suggestion to you is observe it within yourself. Ask yourself, what do I use as motivational force? Am I using dissatisfaction with what is? And if that is the case, then remind yourself that when we are using dissatisfaction as motivational force, we are living a life of dissatisfaction. Do you really want to do that? Of course you don't. You want to be happy. You want to be joyful. You want to be joyful in everything that you do. And then that joy will empower you and flow into your doing. Please do consider it. Thank you for listening, my friend.